So I am going to show you how to draw an isometric of this part right here. This can be also provided to you as a JPEG on your assignments if you look at it, okay? All right, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have our proper tools. So I have the 3 mechanical pencils, a 0.5, a 0.9, and also a 0.7. I also have my drafting table, also have my T-square, I have my paper, I have my 60-30 degree triangle, which is what you need in order to create a isometric. And I also have this little guy to help me out with small measurements. Okay, so first thing I need to do is make sure my paper is straight. This is very important because after your paper is straight, you can use your 60-30 degree triangle to to do measurements right from the edges of the paper that are straight. Okay, so I'm going to take my tape or drafting dots. I will put them right at the edge of the corner. I want them to be as close to the corner as possible. I don't want to expose too much of the paper to the tape. I just want it to hold. So I hold those two up there. Now I'll bring my drafting paper, my T-square down, and I tape the bottom. Okay. So after I do this, I will start by making one horizontal line. It can be close to the bottom or a little bit up. The most important part is that your piece does fit on the paper, so you might have to analyze that a little bit, but generally speaking, there's no specific measurement to this. I'm just gonna put a light horizontal line, very light horizontal line, straight horizontal line to start, and then I'm gonna approximate where the middle of my paper is and make 2 30-degree lines. You can see that I'm using my paper as kind of like my measuring point for my 60 degrees, my 30 degrees, and I'm going off of my paper now that my paper is straight. Very important that you start with a straight paper, okay? And then I'll flip this way. Again, straighten it with the bottom of my paper, and then go at 60 degrees. Make another light line. Whoop, just a little bit. Make another light line going this way. Now that I have those 2 lines, I need to make a vertical line. So I will use my 60-degree triangle to make a vertical line. Again, I am doing all these measurements right off. I'm aligning the edge of my triangle with my paper to make sure that I'm getting straight lines. Okay, when you're doing isometric, you will be moving in 3 directions. You will only be moving in 30-degree increments or in 90-degree increments, okay? So to do the first shape, we would have to go, or you'll also do a scale. To do our first shape, we will have to go 5 1/8 of an inch in this direction. So I'm gonna go 5/8 because that's the longest point. 5/8 is right there, right there. Make a dot. Now I know that not all of it is 5/8, so I'm gonna go from that point. I will go 1.5 in this direction. That is my first starting point, and now I can take my little triangle and just make that a darker line. Just make that a darker line. As I already have my guideline there, all I need to do is connect the dots. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make another parallel line to this line that is 5/8. So I'm gonna go 5/8 from here in this direction, 5/8. right here. And now I'm gonna use my triangle and make another light line. This is a guideline per se, just to help me. Isometric starts with a lot of guidelines in the beginning, and then after you have enough points to just connect the items together, you can just connect them. So that is my second guideline. And now I know that this point needs to be connected to that guideline. So I'm going to take my 60-degree triangle and I'm going to put it on this point right there. And I'm going to go from there to there. Okay. Now I know that I carry on that guideline for about 1.5 inches. So now I have to measure from this point 1.5 inches to here. And I'm going to use my little triangle again to just connect the dots. I will have to do some erasing, but I'm going to wait as long as possible for that. So I have that, and now I have to move upward direction, so I can use my little triangle again to move in the upward direction, and I need to go up vertically 90 degrees. I need to go 5/8, so I can use my little triangle. I need to go 5/8. Okay, so I know that I need to be straight right there. And now I'm gonna count 10, because 10/16 is 5/8. So 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's my straight point. Now I'll just use my triangle to connect those dots. Okay, now I also have to create now I am gonna have to create a guideline in this direction. Just a nice gentle guideline, because I know that I have to go 5/8, 2 and 5/8 in this direction. 2 and 5/8, so I'm gonna go here, 2 and 5/8, the point is here. And now I can connect those two lines. I'm using my triangle like this without orientating it with the edges of my paper, because I already have my guideline, which I already orientated. Okay. Now from there, I know that I have to go vertically. I have to go 1 and 5/8. So vertically, 1 and 5/8. So I can make another guideline that's vertical. Orientate this with the bottom of my paper and go straight up. And then go up 1 and 5/8. My point, and now I'm going to use my triangle again. As you can see, I'm switching back and forth depending on the specific tool that I need to use. Okay. Now I need to start heading back. So I know that from this point to the other point is 2 3/4, but 2 and 5/8, but I do have to make another guideline. Guidelines are very important in the beginning, and they'll be very important throughout making an isometric. So I'm gonna go this way. Okay, and now I know that that line is gonna be straight up with this line. So if I don't even have to measure, I can just align these two lines right here, and I know that I need a guideline right here, okay? Because from that point, these 2 points right here are straight together. So from that point, it'll go up 5/8. Which is right there. 5/8. 5/8 is the same as 10, so you can count 10 little dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then make a point. Okay, and now I can connect my lines. Okay, now I know that I have to go in this direction, have to go this way. Yes, I have to go that way and then come back. But again, same thing, principle applies. This point has to connect up here, so I can make a vertical guideline from this point, so I don't even have to measure. Or you can measure, it's up to you. A vertical guideline, okay, and then connect my lines with a 30-degree. Which would be, make sure your triangle is straight. And remember, if you do any other type of angle that's not a 30, 30, or 90, your isometric will not look correct. So there's that point. Now remember, we are going to have to use, they're going to need another vertical line going up from this guideline, so I'm going to use my triangle again. And make a vertical line going up as a guideline, and then I'm going to connect it using my 30 degrees again. So most important, I got to line up my triangle with my piece of paper to make sure that my lines are straight. Okay, and now I'm going to use my triangle this way and make a guideline in the other direction. But I think it's best if I make this one from the top here. From the top, because I'll get most of the straight edge of the paper on it. Okay, there we go. And now I can move it towards the end there. Make sure that it's straight again. Move back a little bit. And then use another guideline. And then do a vertical guideline up here. Right here, the vertical guide, because this vertical point ends there, and there's my shape. And now all I have to do is just trace. Tracing is the easy part. After your guidelines look correct, then you go in and make them permanent. Remember, guidelines should always be light, just in the case you need to erase them. When you're ready to make them permanent, you simply dark them in. Okay, so that's the basis of our shape. Now we know we need to go in this direction. So let's make another guideline. Okay, so guidelines go from here in this direction, and I know I need to go a thickness of 1 inch. The paper tells me, so I'm gonna go 1 inch. Use my little triangle for this one. 1 inch from here, and I'm gonna click right there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make that dark. And now it's just all about projecting and using guidelines and then coming up with the right shape. So I'm just gonna go vertical, make another guideline. I'll make a lot of guidelines right now, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna go back and darken everything. All these points need to kind of cross each other. And I know that I'm also going to have a guideline going from this point in this direction. And now I know I'm also going to have a vertical. Okay. And now I know I have one long guideline that goes all the way to the back. From that point all the way to the back. And then I have one more guideline. Sometimes you have to like try different things with this triangle to make sure that you're going in the right direction. So it's very important that you're orientated correctly. As you can see right now, I'm trying to find my orientation, which I did. Okay, so there it is. I'm gonna go right there to that corner, and I'm gonna go this way. All right, now that I have my guidelines, I will go and just darken them. And this is the easy part, which is basically connecting dots. This is when a smaller triangle comes in handy, when you can literally just kind of use it as a guide. And remember, the bottom of this triangle must be clean, because if it's not clean, then you're gonna smudge the paper. Okay. All right, and I'm missing one more line, and that's this line down here. Remember, all edges are kind of like projected, and I can use my little triangle for this one. Awesome. I'm just gonna go ahead and make this a hard line because I know it's there. All right, now after that, now it's time for the easy part, erasing. So if you don't have one of these erasers, any type of eraser will really kind of do. So now you just erase. And this is when making guidelines a little bit lighter really comes in handy. Because the lighter you make them, the easier they are to erase. So it will benefit you greatly to make these lines as light as possible, because then when it comes time to erase, you have less work to do. And you can choose to erase as you go, but I am choosing to erase after the fact because a lot of the guidelines can be used for multiple purposes. And the same system kind of goes for all parts, not just this individual one. But you do have to think about what the best way for you to create this part would be for you. You need a brush. So go ahead and just brush those away. You can also use an eraser shield if you don't feel confident that you can erase without touching the main lines there. Drawing light is definitely the way to go, and the lighter you can draw, the better. Okay, and there's your isometric. Okay, so it's all about having the proper tools and using guidelines. All right, and that is how you do this isometric. Put your name on it, autograph, whatever you like. Smiley face with tongue out. All right, and that's how we do this isometric. Thank you.